So that is programmatic navigation with navigation split view. Real quick, well, what does it look like with a navigation stack? It's almost the same, slightly different. So if we change this back to navigation stack, that's all fine. That works the same. But navigation stack, it doesn't have this detail, it doesn't have this extra closure thing. So this won't work. But let's hang on to this because navigation stack, it has something very similar. And it is the navigation destination. And so it adds this navigation destination, which is kind of like that detail thing that we had before. It just, the syntax looks a little different. But what it wants is it says, well, what type of thing is your navigation destination going to be? And again, this is programmatic, so we're looking at the actual model, the data object, not the view. So that's going to be post, and you do this thing called type self, which is just saying it's not a specific post, it's just the type of post is what we're looking for. So you write it like that. And then what that does is it gives you, okay, if we have a post, what would we put in there? And in this case, we would just put in our detail view. And we just, I'm going to just comment this out, so we don't need that. And yeah, so now we have converted our navigation split view back into a navigation stack, but it is still using the programmatic navigation way because we still have the navigation link with a value instead of a view, right? And then the detail view is then handled down here in this special closure called navigation destination. And you can see now we just have one stack, one list of things. Even on iPad, there's no longer, a split view of any kind. And if we tap, it's just going to go, oh, well, I just put this on the wrong little thing. So this is the navigation stack closure, but the destination, it needs to be inside the navigation stack, not attached to it. So this whole little kind of group, we want to move that, and we want to move it up a line. So now, just like our navigation title is attached to the list here, we also want this destination to also be attached there. So I fixed a typo on the syntax of this navigation destination. We moved it here under navigation title, right? So this is now looking good and working as we expect. So that's good. But when we tap, it still doesn't work. So why doesn't it work? Well, it's because we still have this selection up here. And so it's a little weird, but when we have list inside a navigation stack, and we use this destination, and it is programmatic because it's looking at a post, but it's no longer using this selection. It could, but then you'd have to do it a different way. And so we actually want to get rid of this. We don't need this. And so now what it's doing is it's handling selection back to the navigation link, which is then connected to this destination. And so now if we tap, we do indeed get to view. And you can go back and forth. So you can sort of see, okay, this is how we're back to navigation stack. There's a lot of ways to do this, right? And it can get complicated. To keep it simple, I would say stick with the navigation split view and use that as a template. So let me move it back one more time and you can see what that looks like. So first thing we want to do is change this to split view. We're going to bring our selection back because we want that in this case. And now we don't have navigation destination anymore. So we get rid of that. We get rid of that. But we do have this detail and an extra closure. And inside of that extra closure, we would put this thing. But if you remember, we kind of had this snippet. I'd save this, right? And it has this if let detail post and else. And this is actually what we want. So let's get rid of that one. And this has the same thing, but in case our optional is empty. And let's get rid of those extra ones. And now we're back. And you can see it's updated. It's saying there's no selection. And now we can select. You may be wondering, with the stack, why was there no optional? Well, if you think about it in a stack, because you only see one view at a time, it doesn't matter. If there's nothing selected, nothing's selected. And then when you select, it goes to the next view. It only matters in the split view where I need to know, oh, if nothing is selected, what do I show in this other view? All right. So navigation split view with a little programmatic control at the selected post.